all, I hope you guys are doing well. This is another video where I'm going to complain, and I know it seems I complain a lot, but that's not my intention. I don't like to complain, but I also am very sensitive to certain things, you know, as just a consumer, an educated consumer. Okay, so I went to this. I don't wear wigs, so I really don't know the protocols and what consumers go through when they buy wigs and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I didn't want to dye my hair, and this is really the reason why my hair ended up this way. I didn't want to dye my hair, so I went to because I had a lot of grays, and I went to this Asian store in the hood, in the black part of this city. And because that's where they tend to do their business, that's where they get their business, that's how they make their money. And so I go to this store, and as soon as I pick up a wig, this lady is already following me, and she says, before you try on a wig, you need to buy this sock. And I didn't know that, first of all. So I said, okay, a sock for what? And she said, oh, it's for hygiene reasons. You're supposed to cover your hair before you try on anything. I said, okay. And she said, oh, you have to pay for it. I'm like, what? I have to pay for it? And I'm thinking to myself, sorry, I had to put on the light. And I'm thinking to myself, what if I don't want the wig? And she's like, no, you get to keep it. So I said, why should I buy something that, you know, I don't even know if I want to, I'm going to end up, you know, like trying on the wigs. But anyway, so I said, you guys should be providing that as part of your service. That's part of doing business. I buy a lot of clothes from department stores. I've never, even for bathing suits, I've never had to pay for anything. So my attitude was this: they're only doing this because they know that their largest, probably the only clientele, are black customers. And I felt like they're doing this not because that's how you're supposed to do business. In fact, how you're supposed to do business, it's like saying to a customer, before I come to your house, you gotta give me money for gas. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. And so I felt like, first of all, right there was a problem. So we came in a little bit late there, and after and she said, okay, you can buy this one or you can buy the expensive one over there. I said, okay, I'll buy the expensive one, because I'm thinking, oh, tomorrow I'll just bring bring it back, because it was already late and they were getting ready to close the store. And so they were basically rushing us out, saying that we're about to turn off the lights and everything. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's okay, I'll come back tomorrow just to, you know, like just to make sure that I'm buying the right wig. And also I found out, once you buy a wig, you cannot return it. I just returned couches that I bought and had them exchanged, and I'm about to have them exchanged again because they had an issue. When you buy a wig, here's number one: when you buy a wig, they have these wigs that are out there and you can try on. If it's not the color you want, too bad. You can choose the other color at your own risk, and you cannot return it. And I'm thinking to myself, this must be the only place in America where customers are not kings and queens, because everywhere in America where every general public buys stuff, whether it's Walmart or online, anywhere, if it's a general public thing, they use the same rules where they say you can return something. There's no return policy there. If you buy something, you own it. Okay? And as I said, it's not like they have all the colors, all the lengths out there. You try on one, and if you like it, you think it will work, you go and choose the color you want. If the color you bought it's not what you tried on, too bad. You know what I mean? So, and I was just thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. So I come back the following day, and so I bring my, you know, like confident, thinking, oh, I already bought the thing, and I paid, I think, $2 or $2.99, can't recall. But anyway, I go in, and she says, she follows me because she probably remembered me from yesterday. She follows me and she says, did you buy a sock? And I'm like, why? I brought mine. I mean, I didn't even say why. I said, no, I brought mine. And she's like, no, you gotta buy a new one. And I'm thinking, what? Are you kidding me? this is a tax. This is an unfair tax on black customers, because they would never do that if they were serving general public. And to me, that's a problem. I think I felt for the first time being discriminated as a consumer. So I told this woman, I said, I try on shoes, which someone could have banyans or whatever. At Belk, I don't have to buy a damn thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this idea that we are supposed to pay to get the service is, to me, absolutely ridiculous, because first of all, it shows to me how much they don't respect us as customers. So to cut the story short, this woman says, okay, let me call my boss. And the boss is just another young man who's working the aisles. And he says to me and says, if you don't like our service, just leave. And I'm thinking to myself, are you freaking kidding me? So I said to my daughter, let's go right now. So we left the place without buying, and I was just sitting and so angry, because I'm thinking to myself, this is why we need to have our own businesses that serve us, that understand us, and that treat us with respect. The biggest problem, we black people are the biggest consumers in the world, okay? But we don't create much. We don't own much, and that's a problem. And even if I were to open my own store, I would still have to buy, like those products from China, which I don't necessarily have a problem with that, because, that's where everybody buys. But I don't know if that would put me at a disadvantage, because, I'm not a person who understands how the Asia markets work. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's sort of like a conundrum for black consumers, because you want to support, black businesses, but if black businesses are not getting good deals, if you notice, in fact, many times if you're dealing with black-owned businesses, you end up paying more for a lot of things, which tells me that the cost of doing business for them is usually more, so they can't really compete, right? So, but it made me think about everything, and I was just thinking that it would be so nice for us as a people to understand the power that we have. We are consumers. Collectively, we consume a lot of, we use a lot of money to buy consumer products, and stores like that should provide us services just like they would if they were serving the general public. For them to tell me if I don't like the service I should go, they basically understand the power they have, that it doesn't matter, I have no choice but to come back to their store, because there's no one else who's going to provide the services that they provide. It's no different. The complaint that I'm having is no different than the complaint I had with these African World of Braids salons, where they know that the chances of you going somewhere is very slim, so they can treat you like crap as a customer. And that's a challenge, for black customers, because a lot of times people want our money, but they rather not serve us, and they rather that we didn't even come to their store, but they want our money. And that's the challenge that we have. It's a challenge that we face pretty much around the world. I remember Oprah, there was a big story about Oprah being profiled because she was shopping in a most expensive store, and someone didn't believe that she could afford to shop in that store. And I think this was in Paris, France, where this happened. So it's a big challenge that I don't know how we can resolve it, other than to educate the minds that a customer, whether black or white, deserve the same type of service, deserve the same respect, because their money is the same. Okay? We as black consumers, especially in these beauty stores, we are the ones who are the primary customers. And if you go to that store, okay, yes, it was in a predominantly black neighborhood, but there's no neighborhood really in America that, all you could see is black customers, right? And so, but I was just shocked at the, at the level of service that those people were giving me. And people accept that, people live with that. And I just don't know, I think the only solution is for us to be happy to serve us, because there's nothing worse than a black person who doesn't want to serve other black people, right? We need to educate our people that it's okay to serve a black person and you should give them respect just like you would any other customer. Because I've had experiences where, you know, and I don't think it's a racial thing. I'm saying that there are black people, there are Asian people, there are white people, there are people of different races who don't think black people deserve respect. And it's harder, yes, when it comes from our own people, because you feel like, okay, they're just so brainwashed that they don't even see it. And then when you see it from other people, you just don't know how to handle it. You chalk it to maybe racism, and maybe it is racism and maybe it's not, but we really have to re-educate the minds about the hierarchy that has been created, because it stems from that. It stems from the hierarchy that has been created throughout the hundreds of years, where black people are put at the bottom of society. And now even when you try to make your way up, you still get the same treatment, because all people see is the color of your skin, or in this case, you know, the fact that I'm in a store that serves primarily black customers. And I'm not saying that black customers don't know their power, but we need to educate ourselves about what that power means and what can we do with that power. And maybe that's what it needs to come down to. And again, I don't mind shopping. I just want to be treated well. I've had experiences around the world. I mean, I shouldn't say around the world because I'm not that much traveled. I travel between South Africa and America, and I've been to other countries as well in the Caribbean, and I've been to Europe. And believe it or not, as much as people, you know, like don't like the Caribbean, I was treated very, very well, because those people are taught how to treat customers, and they understand the value of those customers. And so when you come to America and then or South Africa, because guess what, we've had the same problems in South Africa as well. It's not just limited in America, where people feel like they shouldn't be serving you, or you don't deserve the same type of service because you are black. So I just wanted to share that. And again, I know these feel like rants, and maybe next time I should come up with a video where I recognize all the beautiful experiences I've had. But it's always disheartening when you know, like when you don't expect that and then you get that. And I know to someone else, they may say, what's the big deal? To me, the big deal is that the longer we let things fester, the bigger problems we will have. And I think we need a re-education about what it means to live in this society with people of different races, because I think we've forgotten those lessons, because we just assume that there are no more issues. There's still a lot of issues, and people are very ignorant of their own, you know, like prejudices, and we need to make people aware. Because sometimes people think it's normal, you know, this is what we do, this is how we do, but there is an underlying reason why you do the things that you do, why you do things the way you do them. And so it's upon us as a society to educate, because pretty much all the problems you see, whether it's police brutality, whether it's, you know, like miscarriage of justice, all these things stem from disrespecting people based on, you know, who they are rather than what they've done to you. So I just wanted to share that, and I hope that, you know, we can have it again, another discussion. These are the topics anyway I've always wanted to tackle when I started my channel, apart from sharing my memories and sharing my life here in America and in South Africa. So I just wanted to talk about that. It was an eye-opening experience, and when I say that what they are doing is unique to black customers, tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll say, okay, I was wrong. Okay, I'll make another video just to apologize. Okay, thank you so much.